While on the subject of meditation, it will be worth our while to draw the attention of the spiritual aspirant to the variety of sensory experiences which some beginners obtain or imagine they obtain in meditation. The case of the gentleman who had heard an explosion inside his skull and had run out of the meditation room all a tremble is exceptional, no doubt, but by no means unique. The number of visions is certainly legion, but less in the ordinary state of consciousness than in meditation. Supersensuous hearing and seeing are frequent to those who expect them and even pray for them, mistaking them for signs of divine grace. In this vichara, or this sadhana of self-inquiry, they are condemned. They harass only beginners or the mentally immature who entertain wrong, fantastic notions of the yogic practice. The world we have seen is but the shadow play of the senses, to suppress which we take to sadhana, so that falling victim to the senses in the very attempt at destroying them is admitting maya, or illusion, by the back door. Yogis must be warned against these fraudulent experiences. Whatever is seen, heard, or smelt in meditation is pure fancy, and therefore must be mercilessly ignored. It will eventually give way before a determined practice. A very large section of humanity equates miracles and visions with holiness, and the common folk in this country of India likewise view them with undisguised awe, so that millions flock to him who can exhibit a pennyworth of miracles. Vedantic India abhors these and has a profound contempt for the conscious display of psychic powers, except by the jnana siddhis, on special but very infrequent occasions, for it detracts from the realization of the truth, which is the sole aim of this jnana yoga. These siddhas must be distinguished from the so-called occultists who claim to have, but there is no real knowledge of reality, nor a specific aim at achieving it, and many of these other practices. Those who claim and work for miracles and spiritual powers, by whatever name they are known, have no place in the path of the Absolute. The seekers of the Absolute have to guard against these lures and traps of the senses and against the fables that circulate about the dangers of yoga. Jnana yoga must be purified from these excrescences, and being safe and simple, it can be practiced by anyone at any time and in any healthy and clean environment and circumstance without the slightest fear or hesitation. The word samadhi has often been translated as trance in English, which is highly misleading. Trance has a bad odor and can by no means convey the idea of pure consciousness, which is vividly experienced in the true spiritual heart while in samadhi. Advaitic samadhi has no resemblance whatsoever to the cataleptic trance, which the mysteries of ancient Egypt and Greece were said to induce, or to the contemplation of the religious mystic. Hence, I have left samadhi untranslated throughout these writings. The terms nirvana and pure mind, used by Zen Buddhists and Mahayanists, seem to have the same connotation as samadhi. Samadhi is therefore the experience of the pure, formless consciousness in the heart, which, once experienced, is never lost. The seeking will end, and consolidation of the experience into the permanency of sahaja samadhi alone remains to be achieved. With rare exceptions, the early experience of samadhi is vague and shaky, but it acquires firmness by practice, which is no longer the same as pre-samadhi practice, and has been one of searching for the spiritual heart. Henceforth, meditation is effortless to a degree and free from the strain and doubts of the past. If samadhi continues to be disturbed by thoughts, it is called savikalpa samadhi, in which, though peaceful, the world as thoughts is still feebly present. It has not yet become firm enough to free itself from thinking, which is the characteristic of the next higher samadhi, nirvikalpa, wherein the mind stands poised in the stillness of the heart. This is swarupa, the very nature of existence and of all things, the being or self-absolute. When by constant practice nirvikalpa samadhi is turned into sahaja, self-realization, or jivan mukti, the state of liberation in life, is said to have been achieved. The jivan mukta is permanently aware of his reality as consciousness bliss. I have given these details in the hope of dispelling some of the myths which have been woven by imaginative writers around nirvikalpa and samadhi. The mysteries which are said to shroud them do not exist at all. Samadhi is the state of one's own true self, in which all human endeavors find fulfillment. Love for power, wealth, fame, country, service of humanity, or religious worship has samadhi or self-discovery alone for its objective. For him who has achieved it, there remains nothing more to do or aspire for in life. He has realized his own truth as the all, the soul of all, dwelling ever and ever in the hearts of all. And because his state is beyond common experience, it has been subject to so much speculation and unintelligent guesswork. Hence is the need for these details.